Welcome back to my channel, everybody. My name is CringeyJesse, and this is Formula 1 Manager 23, where we will be taking the Haas team down to Saudi Arabia to race on the Jeddah circuit, hoping for as good of results as we got in the first round. But with this track being the way it is, it might be a little bit harder. Now, looking at the calendar, you can see that ATR period 2 begins. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and start a design on a brand new front wing, and it's going to take about 35 days to complete. So if we look at the calendar, Baku, we should have that ready by Baku. Underfloor by Australia, underfloor and front wing by Baku. Anyway, Q1 ends with Hulkenberg finishing P11, Magnussen finishing P12. Not bad, but I would like to make it into Q3, and we'll see how that goes, with Magnussen finishing with a good enough time for now, being P10. Hulkenberg looking to knock him out, but only moving up to P12, so he is definitely gone here in Q2. Albon and Logan Sargent both finishing theirs, not moving anywhere. That leaves Pierre Gasly with the only possible chance of moving Kevin Magnussen out of the top 10, and I do believe that he can do so, but we're going to hope that he doesn't as he comes across the line for P9, definitely moving Kevin Magnussen down to P11. So that will be a P11, P13 start for the Hasbros.
We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, so P11, P13 for the two Haas drivers coming down into turn number 1. It looks like Magnussen fighting with Gasly for P10 already at the start. That are things we like to see. Hulkenberg and Albon fighting for P12 back there in the back, but we are more focused on this guy who's going to get points, and it looks like he is cutting off Pierre Gasly. He's definitely going to hold on to that. And there in the back we got Hulkenberg cutting off and well ahead of Alexander Albon for P12. So it is a P10, P12 as we skip up ahead just a little bit down the front straight. You can see Magnussen and Hulkenberg both pulling out of their respected rival there, as it is Hulkenberg getting in front of Gasly, but Magnussen and Russell still fighting for position for P9, and it looks like it is Magnussen who is going to take P9 away from Russell as we cool them down just a little bit. And now here on lap number 6, it is Hulkenberg getting in front of George Russell. Well, kind of fighting with George Russell. We were looking at Magnussen, who was very close to getting in front of Lance Stroll there. But Lance Stroll, he is going to be the one to not let that happen. Hulkenberg does secure that spot away from George Russell, leaving my guys P9, P10. Hulkenberg catching up to Magnussen. It's going to be a three-way battle here, but, you know, tires in this track, they definitely mean something. And with Haas, we have to push a lot, so our tires do wear out faster. As you can see here on lap number 16, everybody in front of Hamilton, everybody in front of Magnussen at the moment is just well ahead of us by like 4.5 seconds. Russell catching back up and getting in front of Hulkenberg. And now later on in the same lap there, it will be Russell getting in front of Kevin Magnussen, bumping Magnussen down to P10, bumping Hulkenberg down to P11. One of us are in the points. I'm hoping we can finish with both, but at least one of them, and my day will be made. Not a lot happening in this race so far, so Magnussen coming into the pit lane. He came in at P10, so did Ocon, so that's going to move Nico Hulkenberg up to P9 for now, but he's going to come in at the end of this lap. We're watching Kevin Magnussen, hoping that he can stay in front of Albon, that Williams and Norris of the McLaren, and he does. So P10 to P12, losing only about 2 spots, which is not bad. He can definitely get back into points very shortly. There goes Hulkenberg. He's in the pit lane. He came in at P9. He lost to Gasly and Ocon, and now we're looking at Magnussen as he's going to come up, and he is definitely going to get in front of Hulkenberg. And so is Norris. Norris also getting in front of Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg coming out in P13. It is P11, P13 right now for the Hasbros here in Jeddah. But that was also our last stop. If we can conserve these tires and push when we need to, it's possible we can get double points still. But right now we're definitely aiming for Magnussen, who is 11 seconds behind Ocon, to catch up and get there. Pierre Gasly in the pit lane. Coming down the main straight, Magnussen will get in front of Pierre Gasly, so will Hulkenberg. It is now P10, P11 here on lap 28, less than half the race to go here in Jeddah. We do have one in the points system, 12 seconds behind Hamilton up in P9. 2 seconds in front of Hulkenberg, who was also about a second and a half in front of Pierre Gasly. So P10 definitely looks doable for Kevin Magnussen. We're going to move on up to lap number 30. Watching Kevin Magnussen, but if you look over there to the left, because I completely missed it when it happened, Hulkenberg loses out to Pierre Gasly. Gasly now 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds behind Kevin Magnussen, but in front of Hulkenberg he goes. Watching Hulkenberg, doesn't look like he can get that spot back anyway. Kind of hoping he would, hold him back a little bit, because that Alpine is faster than the Haas car already, and we just want as much as we can. Here on lap 34, Ocon runs into the wall and he is out of the race. They did not give me a replay to show, otherwise I would have showed it. But with Esteban Ocon, one of the Alpines, out of the race, we don't have to worry about both of them getting points. That's going to move Magnussen up to P9, Gasly up to P10, and Hulkenberg, who is now about 2 seconds behind Pierre Gasly, on P11. 10 laps to go here. Coming around the bend, Gasly now up in front of Magnussen. Magnussen and him have been fighting for quite a bit and will continue to fight for quite a bit. Hulkenberg back there about 4 seconds behind him. So I think it's safe to say that Hulkenberg, my friend, will be finishing P11 in this race. Magnussen fighting for more than just 1 point. Lap 46, we have a yellow flag out. It is... Okay, at the moment there is a yellow flag. Hamilton crashes. Turn number 13. Hamilton is not out of the race, but he hits the wall for sure. Also looking down there at Hulkenberg, P11 now, about 1.5 seconds away from Magnussen and Gasly. He has definitely done some catching up. So maybe with Hamilton now going into the pit lanes to fix that front wing of his, that should definitely help us out, as he is still like 14 seconds ahead of us. But with all three of us in that DRS zone, we're right there behind Pierre Gasly. Coming down the main straight here on lap 47, Hamilton in the pit lane. Here we come down the straight, and it is all three of us getting in front of Hamilton there, putting Hamilton back into P11, moving Magnussen up as he does get in front of Gasly here. Right now, Magnussen P8 and Hulkenberg P10. Hulkenberg now trying to fight with Gasly for P9, which would be nice, because I would like them to be, the more points the better. However, both of them fighting has let Kevin Magnussen get away from Pierre Gasly, and this is the last shot that Nico Hulkenberg has, coming up to the line to get in front of Pierre Gasly for P9. It's close enough to do so. Magnussen passes at P8, and then here comes Gasly, and then Hulkenberg finishing out in P10. So no pass for Hulkenberg there on Gasly, but it is double points here in Jeddah, just like it was in Bahrain. Your top 10 here today, just a little bit different than last time, as Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Fernando Alonso are your podium winners. We got Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, George Russell, Kevin Magnussen in P8, Pierre Gasly, and Nico Hulkenberg in P10. Which changes up the driver standings just a little bit here, as Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc hold on to their spots of P1 and P2. Sergio Perez moving up to P3. Carlos Sainz dropping down to P4. Fernando Alonso moving up 3 spots for P5. Lance Stroll moving down to P6. Kevin Magnussen holding on to P7. Lewis Hamilton moving down 2 spots to P8. George Russell moving up 1 spot to P9. Nico Hulkenberg dropping a spot to P10, leaving our last point maker, Pierre Gasly, P11 with 2 points. Not bad. Driver standings are about the same. Haas still holding on to 5th, with Alpine now with 2 points in 6th place. So, like I said, they're normally the rival there. Hopefully we can stay in front of them, keep that P5. It is 6th or above, season objective. I don't want to be down there. I don't want to be lacking. I want to be up there. P5. I would love P4, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, that is your Jeddah round. Whatever. Up next is Australia. Coming up next, as well, as we are going to have a new underfloor for this race. So I'm kind of hoping the new underfloor definitely gives us an advantage. Moves us up just a little bit more. Maybe getting points will not be as stressful moving forward. Like I said, this next race we will have an underfloor, and the next race we will have a front wing. Anyway, if you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. Leave comments down below, guys. Let me know what you think for real. Like, I'm being honest. If you can't wait to see the next one, hit that subscribe button. I am trying to bump that number up just a tad bit more. You know what I mean? I would like to hit 300 by the end of the year, but I will make New Year goals when New Year happens. Anyway, until next time, guys, have fun doing whatever it is that you do, and I will see you next time.